Only around 2% of all players reach Ultimate Champion every season. So today, we're going to go over 3 different decks and a bunch of other important tips to help you reach the elusive league of Ultimate Champion. Alright, we are getting into our match against SL6N, who has a top 250 ladder finish, so definitely not an easy road up to Ultimate Champion, but it can be done. So the very first deck we'll be showcasing today is going to be Hog Rider Earthquake, a deck and archetype that has truly survived the test of time, a deck that I can guarantee you, no matter how the meta is, no matter what the season is, there will always be at least one version of it sneaking around on top ladder. So right here, we are playing the version of this meta where we have the Goblinstein, we have the Evolved Firecracker, a card that I'm sure many of you really despise and just wreaks havoc in the arena non-stop, and we also have the Goblinstein, which is still super strong, and we have the newly buffed Evolved Cannon, which is actually pretty fun to play. We have a very great opportunity here to pop our Goblinstein ability, level 16 Fisherman, quick work made of that, and now we have a very comfortable 2000 HP damage lead as my opponent plays a very not top 250 like Bomber on defense against that Doctor. So really good start right now. After seeing the Ram Rider, the Fisherman, the Bomber, I can guarantee this is going to be Pekka. So because he has a Pekka, I'm actually going to go for the Firecracker instead of the Hog. Yup, look at that, guys, he predicted me to go for a Hog Rider, and so knowing that he was going to be prepared for me to go in, I decided to be a bit more defensive, cycle Firecracker in the back, and also cycle back to my Evo Firecracker by doing that as well. Now we're actually playing the Goblinstein with the Goblin, so double Goblin action coming here, and Goblinstein's still very strong. You know, it's pretty much the best champion in the game, one of the best cards in the entire game overall, and it's really not going anywhere. They did not nerf it that much in the recent balance changes, so it's really just still pervasive throughout top ladder, and as you can see, you can just nuke entire lines of pushes. Gonna go for a Hog Rider counter pushing with this Doctor right here, because he does not really have a way to stop a Hog hit, so we're gonna get one hit. Even if he activates the King Tower, it's too little too late for that. We can just log, we can Goblins on the Fisher if we want to, and we can actually even let it connect and then maybe go for a late Goblins, but we're not really down much elixir. I'll go for the EQ, cycle back to the Ice Spirit. I think that's more of an efficient play, and you can see here that with Hog Rider Earthquake cycle, it very much does come into play that second half of the name. You can Earthquake cycle opponents. You're not only need to lean on your Hog Rider as your winning condition. Gonna go Evo Firecracker at the bridge here. He was kind of ready for it, but not really. Gonna get, oh my god, he misses. Average Pekka player misses the Evo Firecracker. Look at that damage just pouring through, bleeding in on the arena, and just absolutely melting that Pekka. Gonna go for the Hog, distract a bit, go for the EQ. Look at that Evo Firecracker still going strong, getting damage on the tower. Guys, this card is a win con by itself as well. We'll keep the pressure up, go for the Hog in the right, Ice Spirit to catch that Fisherman. Truly a perfect offensive and defensive sequence. My opponent can do nothing but give up. As you can see, a pretty standard meta Evo Pekka deck for a first match with the very overpowered Chef, but not to fear, Hog Rider can do the job, and we were able to just destroy him, so very nice. Beautiful first win for Hog Rider Earthquake. Alright, getting into our next match against Ali Hamuda, and I'm feeling good about Hoggy Q, guys. This is honestly the kind of deck that you can beat anything with, and if you want an average, you know, cookie cutter cycle deck, if you're a cycle player, if you just want to try cycle out, this is going to be the archetype for you, either this or Piggy's Earthquake, but Piggy's took a pretty big hit with the recent balance changes, you know, with 3 cards in the deck getting nerfed, both cycle cards, evolutions, as well as the Archer Queen, so this version of Hog has really come back to shine. We're playing the Goblin instead of the Skeletons, because again, Evo Skellies did get nerfed. And Goblins are pretty solid in the meta right now. They can actually serve as arrows bait too. So since you have Firecracker and Goblins, they have to choose which one to go arrows on. My opponent goes for the arrows Fisher again, so it looks like might be another Pekka, especially seeing the Chef in there. Not too surprising, you know, Pekka's really making the rounds in the meta right now. Yep, there it is. Pekka, honestly one of the best decks in the entire game. We will be featuring that ourselves later, but for now, gotta focus on this defense. We can just go for a cannon, and trust me guys, no matter what he plays, I can guarantee you we will defend this pretty decently. I mean, we have the Goblinstein available. There's the Bomber. Just going to get that Ice Spirit off. Low Firecracker. Cycle back to our Goblins if we even need them. He goes for a really aggressive Lightning that I wholeheartedly disagree with. This is the true strength of Hog Rider, guys. If they're low in Elixir, you can punish with a Hog, and that's just going to get a lot of damage. As you can see, we force out one hit, force out the Fisherman too, and he actually does not activate King. I don't know why he chose that placement of all placements. He really could have activated King if he wanted to, but I guess he just didn't feel like activating. Actually, he already has activated. I'm blind, guys. My bad. I do apologize for for that. But it's all good. We have double Evos in cycle right now, so no matter what he does, we should be fine. He actually has a pretty good counter to us, you know. He has fast cycle skeletons, he has lightning and arrows, the two quintessential spells that'll counter us. Lightning for a Goblinstein and cannon, and arrows for a firecracker, but it's really not a big deal. And I feel like I could go Goblinstein Bridge, but I'll do this instead. We'll go for the monster tank in the left and the doctor in the right. That way we can still get some mini pressure going on in the left while defending the Pekka in the right, and not going Goblinstein same lane, because that would just give him a free lightning, of course. So gonna get the Evo Firecracker off, at least get one hit out of it. Goblin Giant, wow, this is Pekka Goblin Giant. We'll go for our Evo Cannon, get that explosion on everything. Goblins, Ice Spirit, the Goblinstein, as you can see in the left, is in the meantime getting some good damage there. Gonna log Cannon back to our second cannon for this defense, and that was actually a beautiful defense. I barely took any damage, except for the lightning damage itself, and the arrows of the firecracker, I guess, but that was honestly very clean, and I feel like with good defense, you can really just survive and do a great job. So I'm going to go for the opposite play here. Going to get ready with my doctor in the left and tank monster in the right. We'll go for our EQ cycle. That's actually a pretty good value EQ, I would say. You know, EQ log kills a bomber, gets the Fisher to about half health, and then with the help of a firecracker, he just went arrows, right? So we can actually go firecracker right now. He's going to be forced to go lightning, and then he's going to go for the Evo Goblin Giant. He definitely has to lightning this firecracker, which he can't do. I will not go for my Goblinstein just yet, because he's definitely going to lightning this firecracker. He's actually not. I'm going to go hog to pressure while defending. Very important play, guys. Just, you know, pressure while defending a massive push so they can't go all in. If they do go all in, they ignore, then you can really just get a lot of damage with your hog pressuring. And look at that firecracker getting missed by the arrows. I don't know what is with our opponents today, guys. They just do not want to hit our firecrackers with their arrows, so we are omega chilling. Gonna go for a hog pressure in the right side. Oh, that fisherman's so annoying, man. We get one hit there. Pretty important, I would say, to get dual lane pressure going. Okay, this is going to be tough. Hold up. Evo Cannon. Look at that, nuking the bomber, hitting the fisherman to get it in log range. Definitely going to see a lightning come down, but I'll go for my Goblinstein, go for my goblins too, and then ability. Look at this ability, guys. Going to nuke the entire Goblin Giant. He gets 2 hits on the tower, which is honestly fair game. That was a lot of damage, but considering how much he had on the board right there, I would say that was a pretty decent defense, if I do say so myself. And now I think I can go for my hog opposite while he might be setting up for another push. We can split our goblins to block the fisherman. Good attempt by me. He obviously was ready for it, but nonetheless, we're fine. Evo Firecracker Bridge. This is a great way to just get damage, guys. And also, since he does have arrows, it's really good to just go Firecracker Bridge, because if they do arrows it off, you're going to get guaranteed value anyways. So if you go in the back, you just arrows it off nonetheless. But if you go at the bridge, you got to hit while it arrows it off. So it's just like a nice play against arrows decks. Now, speaking of arrows, we have outcycled the arrows, so we can go for our new firecracker down low. Evo Cannon, get that beautiful barrage of damage coming through. Goblins go for our Stein right here. New cannon back in cycle. We can pop our ability if we need to, as well as our log. And look at everything just melt, guys. Honestly, that was a pretty big push. Evo Pekka Goblin Giant just kind of melts, and now we can go for the hog. Goblins plus log, get that Pekka retargeted onto the goblins. One hit getting snuck through, and that's going to be another earthquake, and that's going to be another flawless game. I mean, it wasn't the prettiest. We took some damage in the left, but considering the deck he has, the most overpowered decks in the whole game, I'd say we put up a very solid fight, guys, and just kind of destroyed him right there with a damage lead in both lanes. So if you want to destroy Pekka, Hog EQ is going to be the deck for you. 2 beautiful wins against Pekka. Alright, getting into our second deck of the video, it's going to be Pekka. And speaking of Pekka, we gotta talk about this thing. Pekka has been dominating the meta for, I want to say, what, 6 months now? It's genuinely been an unstoppable force, and let's just go for a Pekka first play, because this is genuinely the way you're supposed to play this deck. So we are playing Pekka Goblin Giant, honestly one of the most overpowered, no-skill decks that you can ever imagine to ever exist in this meta, in general in this game, and it's going to do very well. So honestly, if you guys are looking for a no-skill, overpowered deck to play, this is the one for you. My opponent overcommitted a lot on that push, you know, Giant Skeleton, Wizard, plus the Goblin Barrel. We're just going to go for the Pekka Goblin Giant push. Arrows off the Skarmy. We have a level 16 Goblin Giant hammering away at his tower, courtesy of that chef who cooked up a devastating pancake, and that's going to be almost half his tower gone in the first minute of the match. Genuinely, it has not even been 60 seconds, guys, and half his tower is gone. And now we are up Elixir. We have an Evo Pekka in hand, so can you guys guess what our next play is going to be? I'll leave you guys 1 second to guess, because yeah, we're doing it. We're going Evo Pekka the back, level 16, by the way. Ooh, he has a Sparky. That's actually going to be pretty good against our deck. I feel like we don't have too many counters to that. The only thing we have to reset that is the Goblinstein Doctor. It's going to be hard to get that onto the Sparky, but nonetheless, we should be fine here. We are up against a very weird sort of bait deck. I'm not entirely sure, but let's go for a Fisherman right now. Let's whisk this giant skeleton over. Pekka should heal herself quite a lot, as you can see that. No! Oh, that's so unlucky. It's fine, I guess. I mean, this should still take care of the Sparky fully at will. I think we can actually go in off this, guys. I feel like we might be able to. Okay, goes for the Wizard. Let's go Goblin Giant the back instead of at the bridge, because we don't want to go into a Wizard. But it will definitely get leveled up to level 16. And so basically the way you want to play this deck, guys, is very much a beatdown heavy deck. You want to make positive elixir trades. You have many positive elixir trade farming machines in this deck. You have the Bomber, you have the Fisherman, you have the Goblinstein even. And you basically just want to get huge pushes that your opponent just can't afford to really deal with. They get one hit in there. I'm leaking a bit right now. Let me just go for the Pekka again. And we do have arrows, so you can use that both on offense and defense. You can literally just take anything you want out on offense, whether it's a Firecracker, a Skarmy as we did earlier, Evo Archers, you know, Dark Goblin, anything that's annoying really. Or what you can do is you can save arrows for defense, like in that tough situation. We have a barrel tanked for by a giant skeleton. You just go for the arrows, and now he's honestly just dead, I think. We'll go for a Goblin Giant in the left right now, and then Fisherman to whisk away possibly a giant skeleton. We can also hover our Rage. I was going to go Rage in the left. Okay, let's go arrows in the left instead. And that should be game, guys, because Sparky baited out in the right. So now he really has nothing for this level 16 Goblin Giant on the tower, hammering away in the left. I mean, Wizard's going to do a great job at taking care of that, but not good enough. That's good game. We just destroyed this guy. Literally wasn't even close, and I didn't even have to play that much. I didn't have to think that much. Just made positive, logical decisions, and he got destroyed. So, GG's. Alright guys, into our next match against Dawn. Genuinely, we're just farming games with this deck. I really do apologize, guys. I did not want to stoop this low, but I want to show you guys the best decks, the best strategies to reach Ultimate Champions. So I would be lying if I didn't include Pekka, Goblin Giant for you guys. So we see a mini Pekka first play. Let's go for our Bomber, I guess. The good thing about this deck is that we have such good offense, some of the best offense in the entire game. You know, Evo Pekka, Evo Goblin Giant, Goblinstein. We also have some of the best defense in the entire game. Genuinely, we have the Bomber, we have the Guards, we have the Goblinstein with the ability on defense, Fisherman to whisk stuff away. The only real weakness of this deck, guys, is Lava Hound, like air. Like, honestly. Okay, he goes for this. Let's just go arrows, cycle back to our Fisherman. Honestly, worked out so well. I was going to maybe go like Goblinstein, but this worked out beautifully because I can whisk this to the King Tower. We'll get an activated King. We have a level 16 Pekka, going to get my Rage ready. He goes for the Ewiz. Honestly, let's go Bomber, and then I think we can still Rage the Pekka up, right? Because he is going to have to do something about this. Let's Rage that up. Should kill the mini Pekka. Yep, we're going to get that swing off because of the Rage. And lots of tanked 4 Bomber hits coming in. That's what, like 4 hits on the tower. Plus the Fisher connects, level 16. Bit of a waste of a pancake flip, but actually it's going to get us a lot of damage. We're actually in the damage lead after that. And I wasn't really expecting an amazing punish, but, you know, I'll take it. I'll go Goblin Giant at the back. I want to save my Pekka because, you know, he's playing Goblin Giant himself. So I want to save my Pekka to defend his. And he's... Whoa, what Sparky? Okay, so we are against Goblin Giant Sparky. That is 2 Sparky matchups in a row. Pretty interesting, I guess. But you can see that there's not much that you can't overcome with this deck. You really have the best offense in the whole game, I want to say. And then some of the best defensive tools, too. There's just so many overpowered bailout cards. So the Goblin Giant's going to take the tower. Going to go for Evo Pekka plus Fisher on here. Hopefully the Pekka can heal herself up. I think... I don't even know. I feel like our Pekka's been getting kills stolen a lot, guys, genuinely by, like, the Fisherman. It's kind of annoying because she would heal herself a lot, but we defended that perfectly. He defended ours far from perfectly, and now that's just good game because tower down. Genuinely, like, this deck is not too hard to play, guys. I would say it does take, you know, like, some decent level of game knowledge to at least make the decisions to, like, know when to sack. And very important, guys, when to sack damage. You want to sack damage a lot with this deck because you want to make positive trades and just kind of destroy opponents by steamrolling them with big pushes. You don't want to worry about the small picture. Like, you have to take your cycle brain out if you're a cycle player like me. Don't just try and defend every micro interaction. Try and just ignore stuff and go all in, honestly, like a lot of the time. Like right now, I'm just going to ignore that Sparky, pretend it doesn't even exist. I have forgotten about it. You know, if I can't see it, out of sight, out of mind. We have a raging Evo Gob Giant on the King Tower. I think this dude's getting 3 crowned. Is he getting 3 crowned? I actually feel like he might be, and now we can just go for the Stein. Easy defense on this. We can just go for the Evo Pekka instead, and should still be a very easy defense. We will soak that entire Dark Prince charge in the left, because who has to care about that? Arrows off. As you guys can see, a perfect defense and almost a 3 crown, so this deck really just plays itself. If you want one of the easiest decks to play in the whole game, look no further. This is the one for you. Very nice wins. Alright guys, and for our third deck, I have saved the best for last. Today we are playing 3.0 Expo Cycle, and this deck is officially back to some extent after the balances. We're up against a Cannoneer opponent, so go for my Skeletons at the bridge, which will just be a nice way to get chip damage or force a response out. Go for the Expo because my opponent is just leaking and not doing anything. Into a Night Witch Eater, go for the Fireball, and get a pretty nice Expo connection, I think. This should be pretty massive for me right now, and we're gonna just... oh my goodness, okay, whoa. We see an Eagle, so... buckle up, guys. Strap in for a big, crazy ride about to come down because this is going to be E-Golem, everyone's favorite deck, everyone's favorite matchup, right? So, E-Golem. But, yeah, back to my point, I think Expo is genuinely doing pretty good in the meta right now. I'm not saying it's overpowered or dominating by any means. You know me, I'm an Expo player. I will usually not say stuff like that anyways, even if it's true, but I would say that it's genuinely not too bad after the bounces, which definitely hurt Beatdown quite a bit, and all of the Expo Cycle counters are kind of toned down now. So I'm gonna go for a high Tesla. We are playing with this evolution pair. I always get asked this question every time I make an Expo video. SK, what is the best evolution pair with 3.0 Expo Cycle? It's going to be Evo Knight, Evo Archers, because frankly the Evo Skellies nerf was just too big to make them meaningful, and oh my god, we're against a Monk. Wow guys, just my luck. Not only did I have to face an E-Golem opponent, but I had to face an E-Golem Monk opponent at that, so that's just lovely, that's just amazing. Let's go for our log though, get a nice mini Expo lock again. Healer comes down, I'll just kind of let this go, and I can go for my late Archers for that, and we have a very comfortable 1800 damage lead right now, just from playing a nice single. So you can see that Expo Cycle is a very kind of meticulous control type deck, and you can really utilize it to get damage leads against beatdown decks depending on how you play single elixir. So since I played it very well, basically a picture perfect single. We are up against a big hard counter for sure, E-Golem with the Monk, but because we have a nice damage lead, I think we're going to be able to win this match. So the way you play Expo Cycle is really just kind of a situation where you play perfectly the whole game. You play perfect defense, you play perfect offense, you make positive trades on defense, you defend your Expos just right to break through or outcycle their counters, and it just kind of all comes together. Let's go for the E-Spirit to kite this Monk out of Expo range. Maybe get a baby lock in the right. No, we won't, but we will get the Expo onto the Eagle, which is going to help us out for sure. Go for our low Evo Archers, just melt all of this right quick. Go for the log on that. As we do get an activation, guys, I will definitely say that was my activation. I'm going to go for the Archers low. Knight high to keep them alive. Hopefully, nope, Evo E-Drag Chain is just too strong to be stopped. But, I mean, we survived the onslaught, right? It was an Eagle, a Monk push with the Evo E-Drag. So, considering we didn't lose our entire tower, I'd say that's a win. Just going to set up with my Tesla. And, guys, a very safe play with this deck if you're not really sure what you're doing. If you're against, like, a beatdown matchup or maybe bridge spam, is just go for the center-planted Tesla right here. It's very nice. It's very effective. And it can really help you out a lot at just setting up for a solid defense for a big push about to come down. Now that is a massive fireball. A big part of Expo as well is knowing when to take your good fireballs, and that right there is an amazing fireball. Go for E-Spirit log for these Eagle and Blobs. Beautiful interaction. As you can see, elixir just flowing through. We get our nice Archers down low. We have an Evo Knight counter pushing, so since he has to respond to that in the left, I'll go for my Expo in the right. Just kind of keep this pressure up. I can get a nice fireball off on those barbs if I want to, but I know he's going to go for like an E-Drag or something on this bow, so I'm going to kind of wait, chill, and see what I can do. Go for our Tesla. I want to make the most of my Evo Archers right now, so I think let's log that back. Wait, nice trick here, guys. Get that log back. As you can see, that log forced the E-Drag to go in front. We get an Expo lock in the right. He's going to overcommit to the Expo lock, so we'll go for the Expo in the left as well, while he's busy responding to the Expo in the right. And we should get a very nice double lock going. Yup, because he was kind of just forced to choose between the Expo in the left and Expo in the right. It turns out he just kind of hit the panic switch, wasn't able to do either. That's going to be a beautiful, flawlessly controlled game against Eagle and Monk. All I can give him is well played, man. Losing to Expo with Eagle and Monk is kind of crazy. Alright, into our next match against Parham here, who has, oh boy, Mega Knight arrows on his banner profile. So that's definitely what you want to see when you're playing Expo with the Archers, guys. Mega Knight plus arrows. But let's see just what we're going to be up against. Eggsy comes down. I'll go for the Expo because he's down 5 elixir right now. We have a supporting Archer with this bow, and we have one Archer helping out with the Eggsy in the right as well. And the Lightning is also definitely not what you want to see. Okay, Executioner, Lightning. I think it's safe to assume he has the Mega Knight plus arrows in this deck, or else I'm not sure why he would have that on his banner. Just a bit of a tip, guys. Don't take it for, you know, like Holy Grail, like just truth automatically. If they have cards on their banner, it's going to be the deck that they're playing, but more often than not, I've found, especially in this Royal Champion range, people with these types of decks are going to be playing those cards. And oh my goodness, we see the recruits. Not only are they recruits, but they are evil recruits, so that is definitely not what you want to see. Looks like it's going to be in for a rough matchup here, guys. We have arrows, yep. So all we're missing from the holy trifecta of Expo counters, we have the evil recruits, we have the arrows, we have the lightning, that's already all three actually, but all we're missing from the quadfecta, if that's even a thing, is the Mega Knight, which I'm honestly quite sure he has, guys. I mean, you saw his profile. The profiles don't lie. He's probably playing Mega Knight, like, genuinely. So let's go for our Knight for this Lumberjack and see what we can do in this matchup. Now, a big tip I can give you guys against Arrows decks is you want to split your archers. And I'm going to go for the Expo right away, immediately, because he went for the Eggsy again, same principle. Wow, you have an Inferno Tower? Going to go Eastward to reset that. Skellies immediately to follow up. That should be a nice lock in the right, I want to say. Evo Archer will do pretty good work on the Eggsy. Yep, that's going to be dead. Now he can go for the arrows if he wants, or he's just going to take the power shots. That's one power shot, and he goes for a lightning. If I knew any better, I'd go for the Evo Knight at the bridge to punish him, but honestly, he might have a Mega Knight with my Knight's name on it, so I just don't want to take that risk. We'll just take our beautiful single elixir lead again, guys, just as we did against the Eagle hard counter. If you're playing up against Expo hard counters, one of the best things you can do is play a perfect single elixir, and especially take your offensive initiatives, because honestly, it's going to be very tough to ever break through again, if at all, if I'll ever even get any semblance of an Expo lock. And there it is, guys. I was right. You guys all have to like and subscribe right now, because I predicted this man just based off his banner. That is fortune telling at its finest. Also, speaking of finest, that was a beautiful defense, keeping the archers alive with my Knight. I'm going to go for the bow, just pressure. Honestly, guys, in these hard counter matchups, you cannot expect to break through a lot of the time, but it's still going to be very important to go in and pressure, because you just want that offensive initiative. Again, you might go for the, okay, recruits. I'm going to hope for the eye tower, but recruits instead. Go for our log. Evo Archers power shotting away. That's going to be a lot of value, actually. You might go for the eye tower right now. No, goes for the late lightning. We'll go for the bow again immediately in the right, because he has to respond to the archer in the left. So we're going to go archers for the eye tower, please. Okay, that's so unfortunate. I feel like I would have won. I literally predicted that, but didn't have the elixir, but you can see it still worked out very well, because we actually snuck in 2 power shots in the left at the same time. So just kind of perfect control against hard counters right there. Just, you know, he literally has recruits, Mega Knight, lightning, but just by manipulating his cycle, playing effectively, I'm just able to do a pretty good job. Okay, I did not remember hit Evo MK and cycle, so I'm actually starting to regret that fireball right now. Hold up. Wait, balloon? Are you serious? Okay, that is the biggest surprise factor of the big 2025, and it's only been like a month in. Let's go for our Tesla high up to pull this balloon back, I think. That is honestly a really good defense, considering I got surprise factored to the maximum against that balloon. We actually only really take the lightning damage on our tower, so that was honestly, I want to say, pretty perfect. We'll go for a Knight, because I want to take that executioner hit to the face. I know he has an MK waiting for this Knight, but, or recruits, either one works, but I mean, still, that's going to be pretty important. Okay, he gets the activation for us. I mean, thank you very much, I guess. And now, guys, we're just going to have to strap in for the best defense of our lives against Evo Recruits, Evo Mega Knight, Balloon, Lightning Arrows. There's a lightning right there. Going to go for our Expo to kite this balloon over. Archers know that he should not be able to go arrows right away. We'll fireball that all. Beautiful fireball value, and that's going to be a pretty perfect defense. Goes for the Mega Knight. Let's protect our archers. Go for the Knight right now. And this is actually looking so good. Gonna go for the Debo. Honestly, first defense exo of the game, but I think it's gonna be pretty important, because, you know, we just need to set up for the best defense possible. And we're gonna go for the high Tesla. As you can see, guys, this placement is in fact anti-lightning. He just goes for a naked lightning, hoping to hit a Tesla. He just literally like sprayed and prayed. Gonna go for our fireball back. Assuming we didn't have a great damage lead, we could still go for that fireball cycle. Go for a Tesla. Notice the placement, guys, 1 tile over, just so that it'll help out against a balloon right now. Go for the Knight, protect. We have double Knight duty coming down. Go for a high Tesla. He's definitely going to lightning this time, so I'm ready for that with my Expo if I need to kite it over even further, which I will. And then going to get a last second fireball and tower. Beautiful win against yet another hard counter. Evo MK, Evo Recruits with lightning arrows, and we made light work of that. So perfect Expo gameplay. Very beautiful win. I'm honestly very proud of that one, because that was tough, man. That was tough. And we are going to be reaching Ultimate Champion with an 84% win rate, so honestly, not too bad, not too shabby. As I mentioned, guys, these are going to be the best decks for you to reach Ultimate Champion right here, right now, we were able to get it done, and I mean, it's above 80%, so not my best performance. I've gotten in the high 90s before, but I'll take it. That's going to spawn us at top 7.5k in the world, and that's going to be Ultimate Champion with a mix of Expo, Pekka Goblin Giant, and Hog Rider Earthquake with these 2 insane hard counters. Don't know how he lost those at all, either of those opponents, but hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your Ultimate Champion pushes. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.